Hey everyone, this is Sasha bringing you a video tutorial today from BP for You. And today we're going to be talking about the tools in Lightroom 4 or 5. So the first tool that we have here is our cropping tool. And so we can change our aspect ratio here to accommodate if you were changing the size to print a photo, like if you wanted an 8x10 or a 5x7 or a 4x6. They're the most common printing sizes. Or you can enter your own custom aspect ratio below down here. You can also change the angle of your photo, which would be nice for straightening up the horizon or straightening your picture in general. And of course here too you can draw your own cropping limits here and however that you want that to be. So we can go ahead and we can reset that, and when you're happy with it, then you can close it. The next one that we have here is the spot removal tool. So now you can do one of two things. You can heal or you can clone. So to heal something, it's going to pull from around the area wherever you set that to be, and it's going to keep the same tones. It's just going to adapt the new texture. When you clone something, you're taking it all. So let's go ahead and say we didn't want these flowers here. If we wanted to make the road look like it did right around in here, then we could go ahead and do that. Now if we heal that, you can see there's not too much of a difference. There's a very subtle difference here that you can tell. I don't know if you'll be able to see it with the quality of the video or not. If we pull this spot over here, and we use that on heal, you can still see a lot of the tree behind it, the branches showing through. But if we use clone, you can see that that gets a lot darker. That's a better area to work with to be able to see the difference. Heal would be really great for if you had a close-up shot of somebody's face, or something similar to that, like if you were getting rid of acne, or maybe some just spots on the skin. And we have some red eye correction here, and obviously she doesn't have red eyes, but you can see that you drag it from the center of the eye and you can use that to remove the red eye. So you would click this over the red eye. So next we have this really fun tool here, and I really like this. This is a graduated filter. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to set my graduated filter here, and I'm just clicking and I'm dragging down. And so now there's some already set choices here. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to double click on those and send them back to 0. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to pull my exposure down on this one. Excuse me. And I'm going to do that so that I make these mountains back here pop just a little more. You can add just a smidge of contrast. We're going to pull those highlights down just a little bit, darken the shadows, maybe add a little clarity. And then we can you can see all these different options here, and then we get down here to color. So you can go through here and you can choose a color that you want maybe to be over top of this area back in here. And you can see as we click through, we get all kinds of different effects. So you can really go with the mood of your photo for this one. Let's do, I kind of liked it over here. Something like that. So that is something a little bit cool. So we can turn that off and back on. So now you can see the change that we have made here. And you can either decide to reset it, or you can be happy with it and you can click close. So the last tool that we have here is an adjustment brush. Now the adjustment brush is another tool that allows you to make a local adjustment to your photo. So let's say here that we wanted to, you can use a brush here. Right now it has it set up so I'm using a brush. And so here I can use one of my dull skin fixers. I can use flawless skin. I can add a pop. Or I can come down here and I can set my own custom brush. Now these brushes here in the effect panel are all BP for You brushes that come with different Lightroom preset bundles. You can set your own pretty simple too, just by clicking where you want the effect to be. I'm just going to reset this here, and of course you can do a color or you can choose not to do a color. So let's go ahead and we're going to use this to maybe warm up her skin a little bit. We'll give her a nice healthy glow. So now we can kind of come back up here and we can play with it. She's looking just a little bit green, so now I can just slide that over. So if I want to know where I have put this on at, because I'm not really 100% sure, then I can click on the Show Mask Overlay button and I can say, yeah, I've hit all of her skin. I didn't miss her arm or anything like that. I didn't get too much of the grass in there to make it look crazy. I can also decide whether I want to see the pen, which is this thing right here, or whether I don't want to see the pen. If you decide that you like this adjustment but you'd really like to add another adjustment with different settings, then you just click on New and your brush is going to reset itself and you are able to go through here and pick a new brush. And so let's go ahead and show you how easy it is to use one of these preset brushes. And so we can come down here and we can use, let's use this coloring book. And if I come down here, I can set my size, feather, flow, and density. So I'm just going to pull the density back some for this particular brush. And I'm going to maybe boost my size just a little bit. The density is almost like Photoshop's opacity. It's going to be the lower the number, the less of the effect. The higher the number, the more of the effect. So I'm just going to use this here and I'm going to paint over this grass. It's a pretty subtle effect here, but I can see the change that it's making. So here you will be able to see it too, and you can see that it's kind of made everything in the background pop. You can even go ahead and paint that on the road if we wanted to. I'm going to avoid her as much as I can. So I did get a little bit of her face, but I can't tell too much, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. So if I wanted to go back then to the original pen, then I would just go ahead and I would click on that, and now I can work back on this, on her again, on her skin. So that is, I can just go ahead here and click close when I'm done. So that is how I can use the tools up here in Lightroom 4 or 5. And again, down here I can see my before and my after of being able to use those tools. And I can keep cycling through them here. But again, this one is my favorite. And then I can click on this again to just see my after. So thank you so much for watching this video tutorial. Happy editing, guys!